What's up, English 15E? My name is William, and this is my literacy memoir. I hope you guys enjoy. So, my story starts with the separation of my parents, and due to this ordeal, I was forced to move from the culturally diverse Bronx, New York, to the remote and small, predominantly white town of Palmer, Massachusetts. While I was only 2 hours away from New York, there was a very significant difference in the nature of both areas. New York had loud music blasting 24/7, the honks of cars, and the police and ambulance sirens were blaring 24/7, even throughout the night. And there were a lot of people that spoke in a lot of different languages. It was just a very loud, engaging environment. Palmer was the complete opposite. Hardly anyone ever walked on the sidewalks, even, except for a few of my neighbors who went on their daily morning and afternoon walks. And the most that could be heard at night was the whooshing sound of a couple of cars that drove past the street across my house every now and then. A lot of my experience in Palmer, Massachusetts had to do with the new situations I found myself in that I'd never found myself in before, and how I kind of dealt with them. For example, sometimes people would ask to feel the texture of my hair, and I would go, yeah, sure, because we were all 12, why not? And they would be like, hey, this feels so cool, it feels like carpet. I just kind of nod and be like, yeah, I guess it's cool. And I just never really thought much of it. So my teacher a year later told me about how the kids in Africa, when she went to visit, would really want to touch and feel her hair because they'd never seen a blonde-haired white lady before. Another event I could recall was the day I went to school after my mom made food that had strong spices in them. And I didn't really notice what the problem was until I was commented that I had a strong spice smell on me by a friend. And ever since then, I was always conscious of the way I smelled. I didn't want to necessarily smell like spices, but in New York, I guess it was such a commonplace thing that I'd never noticed, and I'd never had it called out to me before. The way I spent my time also greatly contrasted my life in the city. So in the city, I could go to Manhattan really frequently, and I could just use my school issued Metro card, or if I didn't have it, I'd hop the turnstile, get on the train at the subway station, and just go and just walk around with a couple friends and hang out. In Massachusetts, I would bike ride a lot more. I bike rode through the forest. During the summertime, we jump off this rock formation in the woods called the Wall, and annually, I'd go to the county fair. When I visited my dad in the city, I'd hang out with my friends from New York, and I'd be able to let loose a little. And I noticed the difference. They noticed the difference in the way I talked, dressed, and all around acted around them. And they came to attribute to me as me acting white. And even my friends at Palmer noticed how I acted different from, I guess, the stereotypical way they'd expect someone from the Bronx to act. And it was something that we shrugged off because I'd never tried or went out of my way to not be myself. But I was aware that I had made a massive transition from New York to Massachusetts, I guess during some of the most impactful years of my life or my formative years. And I always used to wonder if had I stayed in New York, would I have acted and behaved the same way? And so my takeaway from all this is some of you may think that some of the comments that were made to me in my stories might have been a bit insensitive or rude. And the way I saw it was the way we grow up in the areas we grow up affect the way we think, the people we interact with, and just all around the way we live. And I think those things really affect the things we do and say to other people. The experiences we have and even the experiences we don't have. All of it translates to the way we act, say, treat other people that may be different from us or that we may not share the same experiences with. So the comment about the spices in my clothes, I guess it came from someone who grew up in an area where this thing wasn't so commonplace, so maybe they didn't really see the insensitivity in the comment they made. The thing about me acting white, that both my friends from both areas picked up on, I just eventually came to attribute it to like the behavioral like adaptations I picked up during my time in Massachusetts. And it was just something that kind of happened to me subconsciously due to the area environment I adapted and grew up in. And yeah, so that's my entire takeaway, that the environment we grow up in and the area we come from all around just affects the way we think, what we do, and what we say to other people, and just all around how we treat other people and the beliefs and ideas we may have. Thank you for listening to my memoir, and I hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I hope you guys found something interesting or insightful from this takeaway of mine. See you guys around.